All right, hello. Let's see if is this stream even working, or do I have to do default settings all over again? Okay, let's try that. Oh, God, I hate this new layout. So yeah, starting stream. Is it even working? All right, hello. Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay. Hey everyone, DadGFN here, and today we're doing a bit of a last-minute quick stream. I decided I was wanting to do because I got nothing else to do. So, as the title says, I'm just gonna go on TierMaker and do like this is something I've wanted to do for a while. Just wanted to do like a proper Gravity Falls character tier list, like just ranking all the Gravity Falls characters, like as much as at least I can find. So, that's gonna be what this video is all about. On top of that, I'm also gonna answer any questions that you got in the comment, like in the stream chat. So if you got any questions here, feel free to answer them below. Feel free to comment them in the stream, and I'll check every few seconds and just see if there's any questions and answer them while I'm doing this tier list. So yeah, just what the title says. Ask a question and I'll try and answer it. So serve a mix of Q&A and just telling you my opinions on every single Gravity Falls character as much as you might not want to hear them. So, yeah, let's begin. So I was going to do my own tier list that I made like many years back on TierMaker, but then I decided, you know what, it's a bit outdated, so let's do like a 200 character tier list because, yeah, I've got no life. Yeah, so let's just begin from the start. Let me just check the stream chat again, and yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys? Let's start. Okay, we're going to start with Anti-Mabel, because, of course, Anti-Mabel. I'm going to put her in the E tier, mainly because, like, she's supposed to be the villain. She's supposed to be a bad character, like, a bad person. She's a good villain, but she's not a character that I'm entirely a fan of, like, I guess just because of just the implications that Lost Legends did with Mabel's character. But actually, I think I'm actually going to put her in the D tier because, I mean, she's a bad character, but she's a good character as well. She's fun. The Pine Bros, like the mystery. What are those guys called? Oh, God, this is me. 5 years of Gravity Falls, and I still don't know these guys' names. I'm gonna put these guys again in the F tier because yeah, they sucked. Like if you remember reading Lost Legends, is that. Let me just check what else is there. Hello, yeah, hello. Been a while since I've read Lost Legends. Yeah, same. I haven't read Lost Legends in a very, very long time. Are you guys able to hear everything right? Like, is the audio working? Like, can you guys see everything? Like, do I sound okay, or is am I too loud? Up to you guys. Just let me know in the stream chat. Okay, what's next? The Axolotl. Okay, I'm gonna put the Axolotl in C tier, mainly just like a neutral category in the middle, just because like we don't really know anything about the Axolotl beyond just Bill. And so for that reason, I don't have any like positive opinions about the Axolotl or negative opinions about the Axolotl, so just leave him there. The grandpa guy from that one episode. Again, I'm gonna put him in C tier, giving a neutral. So expect a lot of C tiers here, just for characters that I don't have an opinion over. Steve, he's an S tier, literally an S tier, because Steve, like, come on, guys, Steve deserves so much better. Detective's evil twin, F tier because evil twin. The Dust Flavor Pups, I'm gonna put them in E tier because they don't suck, but like, I mean, come on, what else is there? Mr. What's His Face, I'm gonna put him E tier as well, just because like he was a cool villain, so I'm just gonna say that. I mean, he wasn't the best character, but a good villain. They're sibling brothers. Yeah, I realized that. What else is there? Yep, it's all good. Okay, thanks. The Axolotl is just a plot device to defeat Bill while still having the door open for him to return. Yeah, true there. Yeah, I can see that being the case. Yeah, Steve's the best. 8-Ball, again, neutral stance. I don't really have any opinion on him, so C tier. Bigfoot, again, C tier, no real opinion. What was his name again? Yeah, just put him in C tier as well, just because I don't really have any interest for him. The Constable, yeah, F tier, literally F tier, because yeah, he was abusive to Steve. Like, fuck him. Steve deserved better. Rumble, again, I'm gonna put him in D tier. I don't think he was a bad character. I think he was a good character, but at the same time, like I'm not. We didn't have much time to be interested, like learn about him. So I'm just gonna leave him there. Cheekums, he failed at his one job of taking Dipper and Mabel to freedom, so F tier. Because also he's Gideon's like gerbil hamster. What is he called? So yeah, F him. And speaking of him, Gideon. Okay, I'm gonna put Gideon in E tier because like he did get better towards the end of the show, but like he's still the bad guy and like he was also a pretty shitty character. But Thurb Van Orman is a great voice actor and he did a good job with Gideon's voice, so like I'm gonna give him that slack. This guy from the prize winning thing, I'm gonna put him in F tier because yeah, he was part of the scam. Gideon's mom, I feel so bad for her, so I'm gonna put her in D tier mainly because like we don't really know anything about her, but yeah, whatever. Let me check the chat again. Is there any more questions? Like, by the way, guys, if you have any questions, like, feel free to answer them. I'm open to like any answer. What's this guy saying? Gideon is a great character. Come on. Okay. I'll admit Gideon is not a bad character, so I'll be generous. I'll be generous and put him in the D tier. So there you go. Happy. Gordy, the kid who was traumatized. Okay, I'm gonna put him in C tier just because I have a neutral stance on him. Okay, these two guys, like the ones who were not scared of Stan, but then got terrified when they saw his half naked body. I'm gonna put them in F tier. I mean, they were good characters, but I mean, come on, they sucked. Okay, Submarine Trickster, he was a pretty good character. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. He was genuinely a good villain. Like I actually liked him a lot. Like he was also, I mean, everybody just knows him from the Studio Ghibli reference that he is like No Face from Spirited Away. But like, I mean, excluding the Spirited Away like reference that he is, like the Submarine Trickster was a pretty good character. Like he genuinely was terrifying. Like I remember watching Submarine for the first time, and yeah, he was terrifying. That retail worker from Submarine, I'm gonna put her in A tier just because. Yeah, my heart goes out to all the retail workers right now who are gonna have to listen to Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" all the time, all day, every single day till December 25th. So, for retail workers out there everywhere, you have my condolences. So I'm gonna put your Gravity Falls character in A tier for that. Any retail workers in the stream chat? Like anyone? Any retail workers? Oh, okay. There's some questions. I stan amorphous shape. Oh, is that what his name is? Hector Gron. Okay, all hail Steve. What's his face was super cool. Yeah, I like what's his face like as a character, but like, I mean, just like overall, it's just like, eh. I have two questions. Out of any character Alex Hirsch has voiced, who's your favorite? Are easily Grunkle Stan, just because Grunkle Stan is just a great character, and like I have to give credit to Alex. He did a good job with voicing such a character with such a raspy, like chain smoking voice. Like, how did he not lose his voice from that? Have you played the Gravity Falls 3DS game Legends of the Lone Gemulets? Sadly, no, I have not played that game. Like, sadly, I don't own a Nintendo 3DS, so even if I did own the game, I wouldn't be able to play it to begin with. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, maybe one day if I'm like really into collecting that stuff, I might, but right now I don't really have any plans to do it. Gideon's mom was wild. Yeah, she's definitely seen some things. Did you ever believe the theory that Gideon is Carla McCorkle? Gideon's mom is Carla McCorkle. I've actually never heard that theory until now, and honestly, I actually don't believe that. Like, I think Carla she's out there somewhere with that stupid hippie guy, and she's like probably, I don't know, high on weed or something. I don't know, like whatever happened to Carla, it's a mystery for the ages. But, you know, I don't think she's Gideon's mom. But if that was true, like that would be crazy. Gordy is a total A tier. Okay, I actually agree with that. Gordy is an A tier, so I'm gonna put him in A tier just for that. Like he was traumatized. He deserved better. Opinion on Bill Cipher. We're getting to Bill Cipher. When I get to Bill Cipher's character, I'll go into his into my stance on Bill. I listen to All I Want for Christmas. I think retail workers are weak. Oh, come on, man. I love All I Want for Christmas Is You a lot, and like even I get tired of this song after like one or two times. Like, I mean, maybe that's because I've gotten older. Like when I was younger, I enjoyed that song so much, but like now that I'm older, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's a good song, but like I can only listen to it so many times. Okay, so the kid who got his face hit by that thing that one of Wendy's friends threw in Boss Mabel, C tier. Like, I really don't have any opinion on him. The Grim Loblin. Again, pretty cool villain, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. Like his one fear, turning into his father. Oh my god. This guy, the announcer from Cash Wheel, right? Yeah, I'm gonna put him in again. C tiered, honestly, because like, I mean, I don't really have any opinion on him. The lady from Cash Wheel, again, C tier, don't have an opinion. Okay, now we're on the good one. Seuss. I mean, do I even need to argue about Seuss here? He's an instant A tier. I mean, S tier. Seuss is an S tier. And if you have any opinion against Seuss being an S tier, please leave the chat right now. That kid who got hit in the face's mom. Actually, no, I'm gonna put her in D tier just because, like, come on. Okay, Alex Hirsch. Again, S tier just because Alex Hirsch, and also I don't want to get blocked by Alex Hirsch on Twitter if he somehow sees this stream. Please don't block me, Alex. Footbod. Considering the backstory we now know about him, I'm going to put him in A tier just because, A tier. Any more questions? All hail Steve and Waddles. This is going to be like okay. Is the 6-disc CS get going oop as well? What? I don't know what the answer to that is. It's weird because Bud said, Carla, I always loved you, but I never had the guts. True. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, Carla, maybe Carla was another woman that maybe she was the same woman, maybe she was someone else. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, the kid that got randomly hit should go to F tier. I agree. The S stands for Seuss. That is correct. Yeah, that's true. Like, Seuss is, he is the ultimate S tier character. What is your favorite story in the Gravity Falls graphic novel? Easily the Stan Bros story. I used to like Don't Dimension a lot back when Lost Legends came out because I was really happy to see like Alex addressing the Mabel issue. But in the years since Lost Legends has come out, my opinion on Don't Dimension has gone from it being the best story in Lost Legends to arguably probably one of the worst stories, not just in Lost Legends but Gravity Falls in general. And it's just because I'm just not happy with the way Alex addressed the problem. Like, he could have done it so much better. Like, Don't Dimension was such a wasted potential in terms of just... It just made... Like, I'm just mad that he made Mabel the sole fault of Weirdmageddon. Because, like, if you look at the show, it's like, Mabel isn't technically the fault of Weirdmageddon. A good idea. I'll pin it. Like, Mabel isn't the sole fault of Weirdmageddon. So, like... She was one of the contributors to Wormageddon. She wasn't the sole fault of it, and I just dislike the way Alex addressed that whole situation by making her the fault and then having Dipper name a fault line after. I just felt like he was sort of just caving into the fandom hatred of Mabel at the time, which was just really overblown, and I'm just not happy with the way he did that. And I have a lot more opinions about Don't Dimension, but I think I'm going to save them for another time. But long story short, my favorite Lost Legends story is the Stan Bros story. It's probably the only story in Lost Legends I have no issue with. And I mean, come on, young Stan Ford, like, who can hate that? Okay, moving on, because we're... yeah, okay, McGucket, again, S tier. Like, McGucket is... Like, here's a hot take. McGucket is probably the most tragic character in all of Gravity Falls when you really think about it. He was a man who was heading for greatness, probably to be the next Steve Jobs of his, like, world, and... all that comes falling apart the day that he gets a phone call from Ford asking him to help him. And then, like, Ford, like, when you read Journal 3, you really see that Ford was pretty much of a jerk towards McGucket. Like, he never, like, was passionate about his, like, interest about, like, the Rubik's Cube, I think was it, or, like, his interest in computers. Like, even in Tales to Stands, like, he said that McGucket was wasting his talent by making home computers and stuff. Like, it just shows just how much of a jerk Ford was towards McGucket, and I just hate that. Like, and it just felt so bad. Like, McGucket is a character who at the start of the show we kind of just laughed at because he seemed like a nut job, but by the end of it we really feel bad for him, and I'm just kind of glad he did get a good, like, ending in the end. Like, he got his millions, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm really happy McGucket got a good ending at the end. People hate Mabel for causing weird mechanics, but Bill was literally disguised. Yeah, exactly. Like out of all the characters who made a deal with Bill, Mabel's deal with Bill was literally the most like non similar like Dipper. He willingly made a deal with Bill. Ford willingly made a deal with Bill. Stan towards the end in the finale willingly made a deal with Bill. Mabel unwillingly makes a deal with Bill because she thinks that she's making a deal with Blendon, and then she's the one who gets the most hate out of the entire fandom. Like, it's literally so BS. I've always hated that aspect about the Gravity Falls fandom. Like, it frustrates me so much, and like the fact I still have to argue about this with Mabel haters whenever I get an argument with them, and it just frustrates me so much. Like, if Mabel knowingly made a deal with Bill, that would be another story. And yeah, I could understand the hatred there. But Mabel didn't know that it was Blendon behind that mask. So, of course, how can you hate someone for making a deal with someone that they didn't even know they were making a deal with? Oh my god. Okay, but anyways, let me just answer some of these questions, then we'll get back to the tier list. OMG, it's the author of the journals. Do you like Pacifica? Yeah, I do think Pacifica is a pretty good character. Like, she's definitely grown on me in my time in the fandom. So, like, I definitely do like Pacifica. Favorite episode and season of GF. Favorite season is, of course, season 2, but my favorite episodes are all in season. Almost all my favorite episodes are in season 1. So, like, The Time Traveler's Pig, Double Dipper, The Irrational Treasure. Like, those 3 episodes are my, like, holy trinity favorite episodes, and, like, they're all season 1 episodes. Yeah, McGucket deserved a lot better. Okay, I have an obsession with Bill since I was 7. Do we ever get any solid backstory on him? No, not really. I think I'm actually kind of glad that Bill didn't get a backstory, because like it kind of leaves us wondering what Bill is up to. Like, he's sort of like a mysterious character that we'd all just have to be left wondering, like, what is he up to? Like, what is he gonna do? Like, it just makes Bill a bit of a cooler character in that sense, if that makes sense. Okay, can you please read my question? What was your question? Let me see. Is the 6-disc complete? Yeah, I have a feeling that the 6-disc complete series box set is going out as well. So like the retail edition. I haven't really seen them on sale that much, so it's likely it's going out of production as well. So if you find it, buy it while you still can. It's weird Pacifica only appears in 3 episodes of season 1, and those episodes are back to back. Like, they couldn't have spaced us out a bit more. Yeah, definitely. I think season 1 was a really like still a learning experience for both Alex and the crew, and just they were still learning a lot about the show. What's your favorite villains in Gravity Falls beside Bill? Definitely the Submarine Trickster and Giffany. Like, same with you. Like, I think those are great characters. What's your least favorite episode? Dipper versus Manliness. I absolutely hate that episode. It's probably the only episode of Gravity Falls I absolutely despise and would never want to watch again. Okay, back to the tier list. We'll get back to those questions later. The skull from the pinball machine. E tier. I mean, he was a good character, but yeah. Mermando, I'm going to give him a B tier. I think he was not a bad character, but, I wish we got to meet more of him. Pool Jail Kid. He out of pity, I give him an S tier. He deserves so much better again. Like, almost every character so far in S tier deserves so much better. And, like, yeah, definitely, like, with Pool Jail Kid, like, the poor kid, he's probably still in jail. And speaking of Pool Check, F tier. I absolutely hate his character. Like, he gave Dipper a lifeguard job when, legally speaking, he shouldn't have gotten a lifeguard job, and then got mad at Dipper for being bad at his job. But then again, also Dipper was pretty suckish at his job, so, I mean, he deserved to be fired. So, but yeah, Pool Check kind of sucked. Okay, Dipper. Obviously an S tier. Like, the main characters, almost all of them are going to be an S tier. Like, I mean, do we even need to talk about Dipper? Like, I mean, Dipper, it's Dipper. It's Dipper. Good old Mason Pines. Like, of course, he's going to be on the top. Grenda, I'm going to give her a B tier. I think Mabel's friends, both Candy and Grenda, were okay characters. I think they could have expanded and developed them more, but, I mean, what we got was all right. I mean, I don't hate them, but, yeah. Okay, the woman who Seuss was almost married to in Carpe Diem when, he was in Waddles, when Waddles was in his body. I'm going to put her in D tier just because, like, yeah, she kind of was there and just never came back again. Good old Grunkle Stan. I'm gonna put him in S tier because Grunkle Stan. I mean, is there an argument? Do we even need to discuss Gorglestan being an S tier? Several times members. I'm gonna put them all at once. Because like I don't remember all their names. I'm gonna put them all in. Let me ask the chat. Like, what do you guys think several times should be while I answer some of these questions? What do you rate GF finally? I definitely would give Gravity Falls a. When I first watched Gravity Falls in 2017, I thought it was like the perfect show. I gave it a 10 out of 10, like proper. As the years have gone on, and my opinion on Gravity Falls has developed more as I've gotten older. I feel like Gravity Falls is a good show still, but it definitely has a lot of problems in it that you just can't ignore it, because like Gravity Falls was a show that was made in this time when, the story-driven cartoon was still a growing and new thing, and Alex and his team were still learning. Like, the box set really was an eye-opener in terms of, like, realizing that a lot of these things about Gravity Falls that we thought were planned out so well, they were kind of last-minute additions. Like, the Cypher Wheel was a last-minute addition. Like, some of these aspects of the show that we've come to be so shocked by, like, how the heck did they plan this out? Sometimes those were, like, last-minute additions that the crew did. And I think my opinion overall has kind of dropped Gravity Falls as a ranking from like a perfect 10 to maybe like a 9.5 or a 9. That doesn't mean I hate Gravity Falls or I think any less of the show. I still think it's one of the best cartoons ever made, and it's still my top favorite show next to like Hilda. But it's like getting older, I've come to understand the flaws in Gravity Falls and realize that, yeah, it's not the perfect show. It's definitely gonna have some flaws in it, like any cartoon does. Like, there is no such thing as a perfect cartoon. Like, well, I mean, maybe Hilda, but then I'm biased towards Hilda. But like, yeah, like the perfect cartoon is not something that really is there. And yeah, Gravity Falls is probably the closest thing to a perfect cartoon. But like with any close to perfect show, there's gonna be some aspects of it that are, make it a bit less. I made all the journals. I draw Bill Cipher on my notebook. Nice. How did Dipper and Mabel outrun Bill when he was mad in the season finale? Plot armor. Watch the Russian version of the dub, season 1, episode 19. Oh god, does Bill Cipher go bliet? B2, you can pop out the chat with the 3 dots. Oh, I can do that? Pop out chat. Oh, okay, that makes my life a lot better. Okay, I'm just gonna put this over here. Should I just put it like that, or like maybe like side? Okay, I'll figure it out later. I used to watch it around the time on Disney Channel. I forgot to mention, like, where do you guys think I should put several times? Like, where in the tier list I should put several times? Oh my god, there's still so many characters to go on. While we're doing that, like, I'll just keep going with the other characters. Chandra Jimenez, D tier probably. I think she was not a bad character, but again, like, not great character. Who else? The Backstrom, like that guy. Yeah, I put him in F tier. I mean, like any music producer, he absolutely sucks. Let me just check Discord. Okay, nothing going on in Discord. D tier. Yeah, actually, I agree with that. Several times a D tier. I think the characters themselves are pretty interesting, but like with any boy band, D tier. I mean, the only good boy band probably is I don't know. you guys tell me. What do you think is the best boy band out there? The Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl was pretty good. Was a pretty good character, animated by the legendary James Baxter himself. I think I'm gonna put the Pterodactyl in the C tier. Like, she was a really interesting character, and a mother protecting her baby, who then McGucket ate. Yeah, Bobby Renzali. Anything voiced by Justin Roiland, in my opinion, is either an A tier or a B tier. So there's that. Pterodactyl baby, putting it in C tier as well, because ate McGucket. Several times they're funny, so C tier. I mean, true, they are funny characters, but Boys Crazy isn't one of my favorite. Is not an episode I particularly enjoy, and I just think several times it's just Tad Strange is an S tier. Yeah, definitely when we get to Tad Strange, I'm gonna put him in S tier probably. I saw someone else here. Do you ever wish Stan and Mabel got a Ford and Mabel got a bonding episode. Oh my god, definitely. Like, I'm so pissed that Lost Legends didn't give us a Mabel and Ford bonding story. Like, if you were a Gravity Falls fan back when Lost Legends was coming out, you may remember the absolute excitement that we had in the fandom about this. Like, Alex had tweeted out some like emoji spoilers about Lost Legends, and one of them hinted that story number 3 might be a Mabel and Ford bonding story, and everybody went nuts about that. Like, everyone who I knew back then was going nuts, like, oh my god, this is the Mabel and Ford bonding story we've all been waiting for. And then then we got Don't Dimension It. I still get mad about that. Like, it still angers me so much whenever I think about how we could have almost gotten a Mabel and Ford bonding story, and instead we got that. So yeah, it's just tragic. Okay, I'm gonna have to look through this. I didn't. Yeah, she was animated. Like, basically, I have a video up about that from the box set. Basically, they originally had the animation studio that animated the pterodactyl. Like, the look of the pterodactyl was not as good as what the storyboards by the storyboard crew was like. So they got James Baxter to come on the show, and somehow Alex convinced him to do it because like he was a fan of the show, so he did it for cheap. And so he basically went in and just animated all the pterodactyl scenes, and that's why the pterodactyl looks so good, because James Baxter the horse did it. What would you rate the Gravity Falls finale? S tier. Like, it wasn't a perfect finale like any finale, but it was a good finale. Have you ever made your own fan stories, like ones? Dark little secret. I used to be a fanfic writer before I focused on the YouTube channel. Like, if you go on like my link tree, like in the channel description, like you'll see links to my Wattpad and like fanfic page, and yeah, I got some cringy stories on there, and some good stories, but cringy stories. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, Waddles is again S tier because Waddles. Bill, probably one of the greatest villains of all time in a cartoon. Like, in terms of villain aspects, I think Bill is probably one of the greatest characters of all time. Like, in the past, I sort of gave him like a B or A tier because like I kind of didn't want to perpetuate the whole Bill is awesome type vibe, but then I was like young and dumb little fan back then. So Bill Cipher is definitely an S tier because he is definitely one of the greatest villains of all time, and there's no arguing about Bill. Like, he could knock out like all the Avengers in like one go probably. I don't know. Like, I've never seen Marvel movies, but yeah, Bill is probably just, that badass. Like, I've seen a lot of Owl House fans say that he could like take out the Collector, but then we don't yet know how good the Collector is. Like, how powerful are they? Like, we don't really know about the Collector yet. And I just think that Bill is just way more powerful, probably, period, because like, Bill had control of time at his absolute peak of power. So like, the Collector so far has just destroyed a dimension and gone nuts or something. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, Bill is just S tier. Okay, those boys from Mabel's dream. Oh my god, I hate these two characters with a passion. I hate them. Like, I absolutely hate these guys. They're F tier. If there was a tier lower than F tier, I would put these two idiots in there because I absolutely hate those guys. Hot take. These two are the reason I cannot watch Dreamscapers anymore. Like I love that episode because, introduction to Bill, but I hate those two so much. Okay, F tier for also Stan's dad. Like, even though he's voiced by Jonathan Banks, aka Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad, like, I still cannot defend Philip Brick for that. So like, he's an absolute awful character, and just for that. British dog. I've been to London. I can definitively say that British people are but yeah, F tier for the British dog just because he's scared Susa and also British. Then, I mean, I just kind of joke about British, but like, I've been to London in the past, like this summer, and London was pretty good. Jeff the Gnome. I'm gonna put him in E tier. Like, I mean, he was a pretty pathetic villain, but then I don't think he's F tier level bad, but he's not D tier. The gnome monster, isn't that just technically the combination of the gnomes? Okay, I'm gonna put him in E tier as well. Is that Schmebulok? Please tell me that's Schmebulok. Probably the only S tier gnome of all. Literally, Schmebulok is an S tier just because. Well, actually, no. Actually, hold on a second. Schmebulok was the character who Lost Legends was focused on, and in Lost Legends, Schmebulok was the one who introduced us to the fact that Dipper named the fault line after Mabel and called it Mabel's fault, and that's probably my least favorite thing in Gravity Falls ever. So should I dare put Schmebulok in A, at least an A tier just for that? Like, should I put Schmebulok in A tier for the fact that he's the reason we have the Mabel hate problem that we do? That's probably like the most petty reason to put Schmebulok in A tier, but up to you guys. Let me just look through these again. Like, let's see what else questions do we have. Have you ever, shared any universe with Gravity Falls? What's the shared universe you can see with Gravity Falls? Probably, I don't know about that, but like, personally, I'd love to see like a shared universe. Like, a lot of people say the Owl House or Amphibia, and that's great. But I'd love to see like Gravity Falls with more obscure type shows. Like, I'd love to see like Gravity Falls in a shared universe with, like, I don't know, like Phineas and Ferb or Hilda, or I don't know, like Inside Job. Well, I mean, Inside Job technically sort of Over the Garden Wall. Over the Garden Wall is probably one of my favorite like shared universe theories for Gravity Falls. That'd be great. The box set documentary talking about James Vector was hilarious. Yeah. I want to tell you so much. Well, I'm planning on doing a Q&A when I hit 35k subscribers, so if you got more questions to ask me that you can't answer here, look for that. Ooh, I'm looking forward to those. Oh God, no, God, those stories are so bad. They also have such bad grammar and spelling because I was just a dumbass back at writing back then. Okay, because I'm happy I found a real fan like me. Have you ever thought about creating some stories of your own, legitimately, like a book or a show? I have thought about that. I have some ideas for shows and like more like I would love to do a show that focuses on like a proper like I don't know, like maybe like a father-son relationship, like a positive type relationship between the father-son characters. I had ideas for that. I've also had some pretty dark ideas for shows and stuff, but like I've never really gotten around to like really working on them. I did want at one point to try and writing a book, but like right now I'm just busy with uni and stuff, so it's probably not going to be something I do for a long time. Zach and Zyler and Krez are S tier. No, I will fight you on that one. What we know from the collector, it seems Bill would be better than Dumb, but they didn't really tell. Yeah, I think Bill is still better than the collector. Like, we don't know much about the collector so far, and I think they are a powerful character, but I don't think they're Bill level powerful. Bro, Kayla hate train, bro. Yeah, everyone all aboard the hate train. I hate them so much. Balkan British is the best English. British. Dreamscapers has a weird voice for Bill. Yeah, I think that was when Alex was still learning the Bill voice. But Dipper named default, not Schmebulok. Yeah, I know. Like, I don't want to put Schmebulok in S tier and A tier just because of Dipper, but then he was the one who mentioned it. Like, we wouldn't have known that if it. I swear for real. Did Infinity War ever get a season? What? Are you talking about Infinity Train? Or wait, what? What are you saying? Are you talking about Over the Garden Wall and Infinity? Because Infinity Train did get a second season. Over the Garden Wall was a miniseries, so it didn't really get it. Okay, what else is there? Oh my god, the chat's going a bit so fast. Like, I don't think I get. I mean, Amphibia are basically confirmed to be in the GF universe. Yeah, like, they're confirmed, like, more or less confirmed. Like, I don't think they'll ever officially confirm it, but, it's more or less confirmed. So, yeah, that's why Rick and Morty is, again, sort of like a gray area just because, legality-wise, but, I can see that being real. Do you ever think the aliens that crash landed in GF got the strangeness from Bill's realm? Maybe. It's one of those theories that are up there. That dumb tourist from Tourist Trap, C tier, just because, neutral stance. Abuelita. I'm going to put Abuelita in A tier just because, she's a good character. Like, Susa's Abuelita. You can't hate her. The glass guy from the Gobblewonker. I'm going to put him in C tier. Tat McGucket's son. I'm going to put him in B tier just because, I just wasn't a big fan of him. Schmipper and Schmabel. Literally their actual names. I'm not even joking. I'm going to put them in B tier just because we don't really know much about Schmipper and Schmabel beyond the fact that they're Dipper and Mabel lookalikes that are younger. The Gobblewonker, the actual Gobblewonker. Like I really wanted to see, when I first watched Gravity Falls, I was waiting for them to go back and look at look at the Gobblewonker for real. And yeah, the show never went back to him. I did also kind of at one point hope that Lost Legends would go into him, but those hopes died out pretty quickly. It's one of those aspects I think would have been cool to see, but we never did. That couple that was getting married when Stan showed up. Should I put them in C tier just because neutral stance? I kind of feel bad for them. They didn't get married, or maybe they proposed later on, but Grungle Stan ruined it. Who is this woman again? I remember her from Headhunters. C tier. I have no stance on that one. The biker guy. I hope he found out if his wife would love her. Like, I kind of feel bad about her. Like, Mabel just left him on, like, your wife's just gonna be beautiful, but he never answered like she will love him. B tier, just because, biker. Gompers, again, B tier, just because Gompers is such a strange character, because we know that technically Gompers was left by some customer who tried to pay for the mystery shack with a goat, but beyond that we don't really know much else about Gompers. I love the theories that Gompers was related to Bill Cipher in some way because of the eyes, but I don't really think that's true. Like, I think that it was just coincidental. So, there's just that aspect. Schmipper and Schmabel. Yeah, I know. They're legitimately the names of the characters. Like, if you go on the wiki page, that's literally what they're called. But then again, it's the wiki page. So I don't know. Hot take. I think Bill and Collector are on the same level of power. I don't know. Like, I personally think maybe like when we see what the Collector is capable of doing in later episodes in the final 2 episodes of the Owl House, then maybe we could discuss that. But I think right now it's sort of just up for debate. Dippy Fresh hurts me on a personal level. I mean, yeah, that's true. Good night. Good night. But I think Bill would trick the Collector into making a deal with them. Yeah, that could happen. Do you ever think that the aliens... Oh, yeah, that was already answered that. I vacuumed the walls now. Opinions on Tad Strange. We're getting to Tad Strange, don't worry. Over the Garden Wall comics. I only have one of them. I think it's Distillatoria. Like, I wanted to get into the Over the Garden Wall graphic novels so much, but then I couldn't really... that was The Secrets of America that were shown in Final Quinterly. Like, that would be interesting. Favorite Mabel moment? Literally all of them. What's your favorite episode from Hilda? The Deer Fox. If you know Mr. What's His Face, I already ranked Mr. What's His Face. I put him in E tier. Like, I don't think he's a bad character, but not the best. I feel the Collector is easy to trick. Yeah, Bellows easily tricked the Collector into thinking that with their help, with that helping Bellows, they'll be able to be freed. So, Collector's pretty easily tricked. I don't know, maybe he's like King's probably up to something. Okay. S tier as well for Mabel. What else would you have suspected? Like, of course I'm gonna put Mabel in S tier because it's Mabel. Like, Mabel is literally like the only. Well, she's like an absolute S tier. Like, yeah, and also just doing it out of spite for Mabel haters, because why not? The Miner. Miner is C tier just because... Well, actually, no, I'm going to put the Miner in B tier because that joke was absolutely hilarious. So, Miner was an absolutely hilarious character. Wax Larry King's disembodied head. Oh my god, Wax Larry King. There's a funny story in Journal 3 about what happened to Larry King afterwards, where Dipper's just chasing him in the vents. Like, yeah, surprise, folks. Not only did Larry King vent, but also Dipper vented as well. So, Among Us is real. There's that, like, Larry King. Larry King's awesome. And A tier Larry King. I'm just not gonna say much more. I'm kind of just like all over the place right now. Cheryl Blubs. I'm gonna put Blubs in B tier as well. Just B for Blubs. That's totally not coincidental. I swear that's not coincidental. But yeah, B. Like, I think Blubs was an all right character. I don't think he was insanely awesome. I don't think he was insanely bad. But Blubs. Toby. Okay, Toby. D tier because Toby determined. Wax Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes was actually a pretty good villain. Like, again, I put the villains in B tier because they were really good villains, and yeah, like, Sherlock Holmes was a pretty good villain. Like, I loved this character. It was a lot of fun. The bar guard, what was it, like, the bouncer at the bar? I'm gonna put him in B tier as well because he was part of the minor joke, and that was really hilarious. Bud Gleeful. D tier. Actually, no, Blubs is E tier. I think Blubs is not a bad... why am I saying Blubs? What was his name? Bud Gleeful. What? Like, oh god. Okay, Bud Gleeful. Like, I think Bud Gleeful was a pretty character. Like, I think towards the end, it was sort of a case of, like... at first you could think like maybe you could feel bad for him because like Gideon, awful child, but kind of like Bud was sort of like a mix. Like he was also pretty of a bad character as well. So yeah, I mean, there's really not much I can say about him beyond that. Yeah. Wait, let me just check the chat again because it's been a little while. Let me just go back. Favorite Mabel moment, easier trick. Speaking of, oh god, I hate those ships so much. Like I'm so shocked at how comfortable the Gravity Falls fandom in its peak was about build-up. Like, the amount of fan art I've seen. Oh my god. At this point I've become numb to it. Like it doesn't even affect me that much because I've just seen way too much of it that it's just, oh my god. Yeah. The Gravity Falls fandom has its dark secrets, like any fandom. I mean, the Owl House has its dark fandom as well, and so does Amphibia. Like every fandom has its dark side. But yeah. Which deleted scene do you wish was in the show? I mean, a lot of people would say that Bill's song was a good deleted scene, but I personally would love to have seen like, that's actually a good question. Like, there's so many deleted scenes for Gravity Falls, but I've never really thought about it that much. Like, which deleted scene I would love to see most of all. I think probably the original opening to Roadside Attraction would have been a pretty good deleted scene to have because the original cold open for Roadside Attraction showed a different reason to why Dipper wanted to go on the road trip. Because like in the show, the reason Dipper goes on the road trip was to get over his still because he's not over Wendy. And it was sort of like, oh my god, back to the Wendy thing again. Oh my god, this is so bad. I think that's probably one of the contributors to why Roadside Attraction is so hated. So if in that cold open, the original cold open that we see in the box set deleted scenes, like Dipper wants to go on the road trip for a completely different reason. Like he wants to improve his confidence with girls and something like that. Like sort of the same reason, but like it isn't motivated because of Wendy in this sense. So that would have been a pretty cool, interesting, and funnier opening to the episode, and would have changed a lot of aspects of it, which I would have kind of enjoyed to see. Yep. Heads on backers. Favorite Over the Garden Wall episode. Over the Garden Wall is such a short show, so there's not really one specific episode I absolutely love. So overall, it's a pretty good show. Your head's on backwards. Yep, Debbie Fretch. Tad Strands will forever be the funniest conspiracy theory of the community. Oh yeah, true. I've looked up into Tad Strands conspiracy, and yeah, pretty interesting theories. Who's the penguin in S tier? Steve. Steve, literally the greatest character in the Gravity Falls shorts. Steve deserves so much better. Do you like Amity's parents? I find Amity's character development... Yeah, I think Amity's character development was definitely a lot better than Pacifica's, probably because Pacifica started out her character development in season 2, but by that point the show was already ending. Amity had more time to develop. So Amity obviously is a better developed character in that sense, and I definitely do think Amity is what Pacifica could have been if they focused more on Pacifica's development at times. So I do think Amity is a great character. Her character development is one of my favorite aspects about the Owl House. Like, I know a lot of people in the Owl House love the fact that, she loses a girlfriend and whatnot, but, on top of that, I absolutely adore the character development that Amity had. Like, it's one of my favorite aspects about the Owl House, and, I'm making no secret that I'm not the biggest Owl House fan, but that's one of my favorite aspects about the show, and I think it's one of those things that I'm really glad the Owl House did a good job in. Yeah. I think Toby is dumb. He's lame, but he's trying his best. Yeah, poor Toby. Do you think Mabel will grow up a lot like her in the show self, but with a good chunk of Stan traits? Yeah, I think Mabel's gonna have a bit of Grunkle Stan like crime type vibe in her. Yeah, probably. I loved how they couldn't use the song Dancing Queen, and instead they made Disco Girl, which is probably one of the best parody songs I've ever heard. Yeah, the Deer Fox is an awesome episode. I've been since the beginning. I've pretty much seen everything. Oh no! Oh god! Dancing Queen and Don't Stop Believing. Yeah. Do you think any ship works? Dipper is horrible. Dipper and Wendy are okay, but I think Dipper and Pacifica is probably the most common and accepted fanship right now. It sort of hinges on Alex Hirsch's reveals and Lost Legends and hints about it in Journal 3 Special Edition and whatnot. But again, it's never been canonically happening, so. It's sort of just like that. It's just I maintain a neutral stance on ships, to be honest. Has anyone noticed the international version of the show has a... Yeah, I think that's due to the hertz difference in like Europe and stuff. So like in North America, it's a different like frequency that shows play on. So in Europe, they have a faster frequency field just because like that would be like that. What's your most obscure GF fact? I think I made a whole video about that, like 20 obscure facts you probably didn't know about Gravity Falls. There were some facts I didn't include in that video just because like I didn't have time to, but I would have loved to. Okay, we still have a bunch of characters here, so I want to get through these before I gotta go. Okay, the cook guy, C tier. I don't really have any opinion on him. Deuce, D tier as well because Seuss imposter. The waiter here, he definitely was brainwashed, so I'm gonna put him in D tier as well. Not really opinion. Okay, this weird thing that we see in the inconvenience thing, I wish the show kind of went back and looked at this character more because this is just definitely terrifying. It was kind of a pretty cool concept as well, and for like a one-off like spooky character, that was pretty cool. And wish we could have gotten more of this character. C tier. Okay, I always mix these guys' names up. Like, is that Nate? And that's, who is he again? Okay, one of these was the one who yeeted Dipper off the fence, which is funny, but like, I'm gonna put both of them in, I'm gonna put them in both B tier just because they're not bad characters. I'm just not the biggest fan of them. Aoshima, again, B tier. Like, fun fact about Aoshima I found out is that apparently Aoshima is a reference to Alex Hirsch's original pitch to Disney, because if you don't know, Alex Hirsch originally pitched 3 cartoons to Disney. One was a show about time-traveling gentlemen, and the other was a show about time-traveling dolphins, and then the third one was Gravity Falls, as you know. And so the dolphin that we see here is a reference to that show that Alex Hirsch originally pitched about time-traveling dolphins that we didn't end up seeing because Disney wanted Gravity Falls instead. So that was a really interesting fact that I found out about that, and it kind of adds a bit of a new layer of interesting like aspects to just Aoshima, and also kind of makes you wonder like, what is Alex Hirsch's Netflix show going to be? Because UAHP is still going to be a long way away from what I've heard. So yeah, feel free to theorize on that. The ghost couple, these two. Again, creepy villains. Actually, I don't think they were that good villains. I think they were just kind of villains. They were like the most boomer characters ever. I mean, they were not bad. I'm kind of conflicted between B or C. I'm just gonna put them in C for now. Robbie. Oh god, part of me feels bad for Robbie, but then at the same time, he's just like such a horrible character. Robbie, I'm gonna put him in D tier. I'm not a fan of Robbie. I just don't like his character. The other dust flavor pup, he's gonna be E. Tambry, again, D tier. She was just there. Thompson. Oh god, Thompson. He's an A tier. We've all been the Thompson or our friend groups at one point or another. Like, I know I was once. And yeah, Thompson was just you just feel bad for the guy. You just feel so bad. Like, he's just bullied around by his peer pressure and stuff, and I feel bad for him. So yeah, A tier for him. Wendy, S tier, easily S tier, because do we even need to say it? Wendy deserved so much more in the show, and I'm still so mad. On top of the fact that Lost Legends didn't give us a Mabel and Ford bonding story, it didn't give us a Wendy story. Like, I was hoping that Wendy was going to have a bigger role to play in Lost Legends, and yet the only noteworthy thing that Wendy had in Lost Legends was saying that we need to burn books and overthrow the government. That's literally Wendy's only big contribution to Lost Legends. Which, it's not bad. That's a pretty funny thing to have a contribution related to, but I wish we had a full Wendy story in Lost Legends. Lost Legends was literally the last chance that we could have done that, because nowadays Disney's never going to give anything else to Gravity Falls, so that was our last chance. And Lost Legends was so much wasted potential. I'm just so mad whenever I look back at Lost Legends. Okay, the Manitors. I think I'm going to put them all in D tier. I'm just going to go quickly through the list of the Manitors. They all were D tier characters as far as I'm concerned. I'm not really a fan of them. And also because I hate Dipper versus... Actually, no, I'm going to put these guys in E tier because, I just hate these characters so much. I hate that episode so much. Tyler, I'm going to put him in A tier because, Mayor of Gravity Falls, and he was a pretty alright character. I liked him. Lazy Susan, I'm gonna put her in B tier just because I'm not a big Lazy Susan fan, but at the same time, I don't hate Lazy Susan. I think she's all right. I think she was not a bad character. I just feel bad that she lost an eye because Grunkle Stan. Manly Dan, aka Wendy's father. I think he's also a B tier. He's just there, just the character. Multi Bear, A tier because Dan, Disco Girl. Okay, let me just check the chat again, and we'll see what's else going on. My favorite Gravity Falls ship is Stan and Ida. Yeah, definitely. Stan and Ida is a ship that I've definitely grown on over the years. Like originally, when the whole theory about Stan and Ida being a thing at one point came out, like I was not the biggest fan of that theory, but as time's gone on, I've become a bigger fan of that theory. Like I think it makes a lot of sense. Like it just makes so much sense that Ida was Stan's ex-wife. Like those two are just literally the two sides of one. What's that saying? Like two sides of one stick or whatever. Yeah, they're the most. They're just there. Which show is better in your opinion? Amphibia or the Owl? Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna answer this. Originally, when Amphibia and the Owl House were both greenlit in 2018, I was more excited for the Owl House because I just loved the idea of like this dark comedy show, and I saw Amphibia sort of like this like funny kids show about frogs. Like I wasn't really all that interested in it, but as time has gone on, and I've looked at both shows with like with my own through my eyes, like the thing is, I actually prefer Amphibia a lot more. I think Amphibia, for what I want out of a show, it just does it better. Like I love both shows, don't get me wrong, but it's just that Amphibia for me is a show that just does what I want out of a cartoon better. Like I always feel Amphibia did a better job with like storytelling, its character development, and just like the world building. Like I love the Amphibia world, and I'm pretty sure Owl House fans may disagree with me on that, which is fair because like Amphibia isn't perfect in all those aspects. Like a lot of people will complain about like Amphibia having a pacing problem with like putting too many like non-story important episodes together and then going out with like I can get that. Like I get that Amphibia is not perfect, and the Owl House is not perfect either. Like the Owl House has its fair share of problems as well, and I think the Owl House does a good job in some cases. Like I definitely think like character development, like with Amity, like I mentioned earlier, like I really love Amity's character development, and Lumini, like that's really good as well. It's just that for me, Amphibia just felt more like the kind of show I wanted. Like, and I also feel like it's more of a unique like concept in general. Like, girl gets lost in a frog world, and then it's a story about past friendships and making amends and becoming better, growing as characters and in time. Well, the Owl House is sort of like it's sort of like the Owl House feels a bit more familiar in a sense, while Amphibia feels like this new concept that like it's hard to explain. Like I think both shows are good. It's just that I find Amphibia just to be a lot more catering to the type of stuff that I want. And I'm pretty sure Owl House fans will probably say the opposite. Like they'll say like the Owl House is catering to what they want out of a show, while Amphibia isn't. Like for me personally, Amphibia is my favorite show. Is the better show in my opinion. But that's just my own personal take on the matter. I think both shows are pretty good in general, and they both do a lot of good things. And I think both shows, I think the discourse between the Amphibia and the Owl House fandom about which show is better is just absolutely dumb, because both shows are good in their own way, and both shows are bad in their own way. They both have their flaws, and they both have their strengths. And I think that arguing or putting them up against each other isn't the best way to go about it. I think that both shows just, are good. But personally speaking, I prefer Amphibia a lot more, and for me Amphibia is just a show that I just loved a lot more, and I'm just really glad to have watched it. And I'm really happy for where the Owl House is going. I'm kind of disappointed the Owl House is got cut, and like it's kind of shows now because like thanks to them, it kind of felt like a rushed episode, if that makes sense. And it's not anything with the Owl House's fault. It's just like the way that the Owl House got hit hard with its cancellation. So yeah. Overall, long story short, I prefer Amphibia a lot more, but I do respect the Owl House. Do you have a link to this tier list? Here. Let me just link the tier list for you all. There you go, tier list link. Which shows? Okay, which one? Do you have a link? Yeah. Okay. Have you seen any Gravity Falls? Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. I think I have a playlist about them, except for time traveling dolphins with. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Aoshima was the last. Yeah. John Aoshima. He was one of the members of the Gravity Falls crew. Who like Aoshima was named after the Gravity Falls crew member Aoshima, but Aoshima, the character, like the look of the character, was inspired by this like time traveling dolphin, from what I've heard. So you get at least D tier. Terrible episode and all, but he did help Dipper. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him in E tier just because I feel like Lost Legends would have looked better as a web series and a style similar to Bottomless Pit. Yeah, definitely. I think that would have been interesting. I definitely think a full third season would have made the Owl House a lot stronger. Yeah, exactly. I agreed. Like the Owl House, like thanks to them, it felt rushed. It felt so fast paced, and like it's not the Owl House's fault, obviously, but it definitely is a consequence of the cancellation. Like thanks to them, just felt too rushed, and it's not. It's just sad. It's just sad seeing the Owl House fall apart like that. Like because like I really got interested in the show again come like season 2B. Like when I want like I didn't mention this earlier, but one thing I love about the Owl House now so much is its focus on loss. Like, Luz's dad and, how much his loss affected Luz because, yeah, loss is something I know a bit too well. And, yeah, that hit hard to me. And it's just one of those things about the Owl House I just love so much. And it sucks that it's happening now towards the end of the show when it got cut, but I really hope that the final 2 episodes delve deeper in that aspect, and I don't know, it might make me change my opinion to a higher degree with the Owl House. Like, the Owl House has the potential to be a much better show in my eyes if it handles this loss aspect better, because loss is just, it's something I care deeply about. Like, that story idea is something I want to see more in shows, and if the Owl House does it good, then I will have a much stronger opinion for the show. Okay, moving on from there. The Dipper clones, Tracy and Quattro. Yeah, those are their actual names. I'm gonna put them in A tier just because they're the only Dipper clones that survived. Okay, what do you say, folks? Paper Jam Dipper. Paper Jam Dipper. Is he an S tier or an A tier? I'm gonna put him in A tier for a second. I also noticed I messed up Candy. I'm gonna put Candy in B tier as well. Same with like Grenda. Same opinion on Grenda. Tyrone. And I feel so bad for Tyrone. He was the only one who understood, so he's an A tier. Durland. I'm gonna put him next to his boyfriend Blubs, and B tier as well. So there's that. Joe the mechanic. Oh god, fuck this guy. Like, all Stan wanted from you was to get him out of the car, out of that muddy pit, and you could not break character for 1 second to help out a loyal customer. Like, come on, how much does Stan put your kids through college by constantly pushing the Stanmobile over to you? Hell, because that's an old car. It's obviously going to cost a lot in maintenance, and you did not even help him one bit. Like, fuck you, man. F tier, absolute F tier. Absolutely hate him. Like, you had one job as a mechanic. I don't know. I hate him so much. This woman from the Gravity Falls Museum. A tier, obviously. Like, A tier. Like, she's... Actually, no, B tier. Like, she was a good character. Like, I mean, for the 1 second that she was in there. Quentin Tremblay. The only American president I have any respect for. S tier. The only American I have any... Like, literally. America needs presidents like Quentin Tremblay again. Like, forget the current presidents and stuff that we've had. Like, it's just a mess. Like, Quentin Tremblay, like, come on. The only thing we have to fear is gigantic man-eating spiders. The man was a visionary. He was literally the best president America had. And they don't even teach him in history class. That's sad. The USA guy. I'm gonna put him in B tier. I admire his patriotism. The man who married a woodpecker. I mean, not as weird as the guy who had sex with his car, as we saw in that one TLC show, but C tier. Blendon. I'm going to put him in B tier just because I think Blendon is B for Blendon. Totally not a coincidence again, but, Blendon. The Time Agents. I think I'm going to put them in D tier. I think they were not bad characters, but, they arrested Blendon. I felt bad for Blendon, honestly. The buggy carriage guy. I'm gonna put them in C tier just because I don't have any opinion on him or the lady who with all those children. Free pizza guy. I feel so bad for him. He just wanted free pizza and Stan didn't even give him any. B tier for him. Farmer Sprout. Please tell me that was the right name. Again, don't really have any opinion on him. He tried to eat Octavia. I'm gonna put him in D tier for that. Preston Northwest, F tier. Absolute worst father, and also your quintessential scummy rich guy. Absolutely hate him. The butler. Just because this guy's got to deal with Preston on a daily basis, I'm gonna put him in at least D tier because like I feel sorry for him. Literally that butler guy, just poor guy. The rich guy from Austria. Always forget his name. It's just some weird long ass name. I'm gonna put him in E tier as well. You know, rich guy, not doing anything there for rich people. But you know, at least Grenda got him. So there's that. Pacifica's mom. Originally, I didn't have really a harsh opinion on Pacifica's mom originally, but after Lost Legends, when I went and reading it and just seeing how much of a horrible mom she was to Pacifica, instant F tier. Absolute horrible character there. The original Northwest guy, again, absolute piece of shit. This guy, like, yeah, you guys know the story. Literally every Northwest except for Pacifica is an F tier. The lumberjack, B tier for him. Like all he wanted, like, you know, I feel bad for him again. You know, he wanted just, you know, his kind to have a nice party and stuff. And, you know, there's a guy. The mayor of Gravity Falls. I'm taking a World War I history course right now, and I've not yet heard about this guy causing World War I, so Gravity Falls lied to me. So I'm putting him in E tier. Just kidding. But yeah, I mean, we don't know much about him, but he started World War I for sure, probably. Like, forget taking out Archduke Ferdinand. This guy was the cause of World War I, probably. The government agents, these two guys. I'm gonna put these two in D tier as well, just because, you know, cool character. Actually, no, I'm not gonna put them in D tier. I'm gonna put them in C tier. I actually love the government agents, like, characters. Like, they were really cool. Like, watching season 2 of Gravity Falls for the first time and seeing these guys show up was just one of the most awesome things ever. It's like, oh my god, this show is getting serious now. Something crazy is about to happen, and yeah, I just love that so much. So I'm really happy that these guys appeared in the show, and you know, that was that. Okay, we're nearing the end. I'm just gonna quickly get to Ford at least, and then we'll look at the chat. That guy who bullied Stan and Ford when they were younger, F tier, absolute F tier. I hate him. Stan and Ford's mom. We don't really know much about her. Like, we didn't really know if she was a good mom or a bad mom. Like, Lost Legends shows she was a pretty lazy mom, but like, I mean, lazy isn't like what Philbrick did. So I'm gonna put her in E tier at least. Is it just me also? But does she kind of remind you of Ida? Like, she kind of looks like a weird version of Ida, if that makes sense. Which, considering Stan. Okay, actually no. Actually forget that. Like, that just sounds wrong now. The octopus guy. The octopus. Like, we literally have the octopus here thing. Mutant creature octopus C tier. This thing that Probabilitor Road. Also, I'm gonna put him in C tier. Don't really have any opinion on him. Okay. Okay, the big one. Ford. What do I say about Ford? Because here's the thing. I'm not the biggest Ford fan. Like, I'm not a Ford stan, if that makes sense. So, oh god, this is gonna sound so bad. Some of you are gonna kill me after I say this. I don't think Ford is an S tier character. Let's just put it that way. Let's rip the bandage off right now. I'm not the biggest Ford fan. Like, I think Ford was a pretty flawed character, and I just didn't like how Ford acted many times in the show, and I'm just not the biggest Ford fan overall. I don't think he's a B tier character as I put him in previous tier lists, but I don't think he deserves the S tier either. So I'm gonna put him in A tier personally. I'm just gonna leave him in A tier because, yeah, I don't hate Ford as much as I used to hate Ford now. I think Ford is a pretty good character, and I admire his character a lot, but he just had so many problems with him that, ironically speaking, a lot of the reasons I hate Ford's character are the exact same reasons people hate on Mabel for. Like, it's kind of funny when you think about it. But like, I don't hate Ford. Like, I'm like, just want to make that out like clear. Like, I don't hate Ford. I just don't think he's an S tier character. If that makes sense. Okay, now let's see how much the chat hates me right now. Um, okay, let me just read through the remaining questions that we have so far. I wish they made the. Yeah, I wish that happened so much. I wish that was done. Like, I wish that they did that. Is the Cat Jets going to be in any tier list? Yeah, the Judge Kitty Meow Meow guy is coming up. I like Amphibia and Gravity Falls. I feel like Lost Legends would have worked better. Wait, did the chat die? Is the stream dead? Wait, is the chat still going? Is chat still? Okay, I didn't notice. Okay, yeah. Do you remember the hand thief? Yeah, the hand witch. Yeah, that was a pretty cool character. Have you ever heard about this animation called Ramshackle? No, I haven't heard of it. How's your day been? It's been going good. It's still crazy that there's so many mysteries that to be unraveled in Gravity Falls. Even what's your loose end that you'd like to see tied up? Like something we haven't seen yet. That's a good question. I don't really know because there's a lot of loose ends about Gravity Falls that I would want to see tied, but then I don't want to see tied because it might ruin some. I think I'd love to see some further look into Wendy's backstory. Like maybe what happened to Wendy's mom. Like Wendy's mom's like what happened to her mom is something I really want to know more about. Like is her mom dead? Is her mom alive? Like I made a whole theory video about that. And there's a lot of other theories out there about what happened to Wendy's mom, and I just would love to know more about her. Do you wish there was a third season or no? When I was a new fan, I wanted a third season, but I no longer do, and I'm against the idea of a third season of Gravity Falls completely. I honestly can't imagine how tired Alex. Yeah, I feel so bad for him. He gets those messages on a daily basis probably, and I just feel so bad. Alex doesn't deserve that. If there had to be any Gravity Falls spinoff, I'd personally love to see an entire series. Yeah, same. I would love to see. Like I've had this idea for a mini series about Stan and Ford, like us seeing what Stan and Ford were up to during that 10-year period before the portal incident, and then seeing what seeing what Stan was up to in his time on the run, and then what Ford was up to in his early years in Gravity Falls and in university, and then seeing what Ford was up to in the multiverse and Stan in his early years of running the Mystery Shack. That would be such a cool spin-off series to see. But I don't know, maybe they couldn't get J.K. Simmons, and also Disney has no interest in that, from what Alex has said, sadly. What tier should the Pine's father be in? I put him in F tier. Like if you look there, you can see him. He's in F tier right there. Like there's Philbrick, F tier character. Season 3 doesn't. Yeah, season 3 is not needed. There is no need for a season 3. Also, Trigger's hair is the bomb. Yeah. Is there any tier list for the Mystery Shack robot? Mystery Shack robot. Alex has confirmed there's no. I missed the show's Closet House. Do you like shows from CNN? Yeah, I do like Cartoon Network shows a lot. I've kind of given up on Nick at this point because it's like they're constant like neglect of actually good shows and constant pressure like SpongeBob. But CN I do like I said, like I love Over the Garden Wall and I love Infinity Train. I've also watched The Amazing World of Gumball like 2 years ago, and I absolutely love Gumball. I'm planning to watch Adventure Time at some point in the future, so that'll be like another show to add on my list. And then other shows like like HBO Max exclusive shows that I kind of enjoy as well. So there's a lot of CN shows that I love, but like not so much with Nick. I've been following Alex's works and different projects he works on. Oh yeah, Untitled Alex Search Project. Let's just put it this way. Untitled Alex Search Project, from my video that I made about him, I found out some more facts about Untitled Alex Search Project, and let's just say this show is gonna be awesome if it ever ends up happening. It's not canceled, from what I've heard, but it's gonna be a while before we might find out anything about Untitled Alex Search Project. And oh my god, it's gonna be so cool when this show comes out. Like you guys have no idea. Same. I like Ford, but he's way too flawed, and I hate some of his actions. Yeah, exactly. We're alive. Okay. Okay. I read Lost Legends and it was amazing. If you had to get rid of a character, who should it be? Excepting Ruby and Sterling. If I had to get rid of one character from Gravity Falls, I don't know, it'd probably be like I don't know. Maybe Toby, just because Toby. Okay. The hot gnome guy from Wizard, like what's it like, witch like elf thing. Again, E tier. I don't really care about him. The creepy thing, I don't know. E tier. I'm just gonna put all of Probabilitor's characters and Probabilitor himself. Well, actually, no. Weird Al Yankovic was the voice of Probabilisaur. So just because Weird Al Yankovic voiced him, I'm gonna put him in at least B tier, just because of his voice actor, not because of the character, because of the voice actor, because Weird Al Yankovic. Okay, Tad Strange. You all said you wanted him to be an S tier character, so I will fulfill your request. S tier character for Tad Strange, and I also like Tad Strange as well personally. Celesta Beta Bell. Easy F tier. If there was a rank lower than F tier, I would put her in there. Darlene. Okay, Darlene was a really creepy villain, and I don't think she's one of the best Gravity Falls villains, but I don't think she's an F tier character either. She was a horrifying character. Like, my arachnophobia did not gain any help from her. So D tier right there. The German girl from the Rose. All the girls from Rose Stride Attraction. Like, these guys I think the corn maze girl, she's an E tier. I think the ice cream girl is an F tier, and then Emma here. By the way, shout out to Emma, my server owner. She's awesome. But Emma here, I'm gonna put her in the B tier just because, you know, she was probably the only character we actually got to learn a bit more about, and she was pretty funny, and I liked her character as well. I don't think she's a great character, but I think she's a okay character. Emma, my server owner though, she's an S tier. The granny from the world's largest yarn ball, E tier. Don't think she was a bad character, but I think she was not. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about this one. The log flume girl. Probably put her in E tier as well because we just didn't really learn anything about her. Emma's parents. There's a really funny Mooring Mark comic about how, like, she's not actually giving birth, but she was smuggling pugs across the border, which is actually pretty funny. It's one of my favorite Mooring Mark comics. So I'm gonna put them in C tier just because we don't really know anything about them. The guys who vandalized Stan's the mystery shack. These guys, I both feel bad for them, but I also I don't really care about them. So E tier. Ibats C tier just because Ibats we don't really hate them, we don't really love them. The sweaty one-armed monstrosity. Considering who the original voice actor of the character was before they had to redub him, F tier. Even though they redubbed him, just no. These characters, we're Bill's henchmaniacs. I'm gonna put these guys in C tier just because I don't hate them. I'm not a fan. I don't hate them, but I don't have really overall opinions about them. Like, remember, C tier is just a neutral stance. Like, I don't like the characters there are like characters I don't really have any overall opinion about. Okay, Dippy Fresh, everyone's favorite character, Dippy Fresh. Yeah, good old Dippy Fresh. What do we put Dippy Fresh in, folks? S tier. Dippy Fresh is an S tier, right? All right, while you guys come up with where Dippy Fresh should be, I'm just going to answer some more questions. Except in where... Oh, boy. Do you think a time skip movie about Bill returning would be good? No, not really. I'm against the idea of Bill returning, mainly because when Bill returns, what's the overall goal after that? You just have Bill coming back, and he's just going to be defeated again. It's just like a repeat of Weirdmageddon all over again. Like, maybe we could do something unique with Bill's character to show him coming back, but beyond that, I don't really see the point in bringing Bill back. That's one of my hottest Gravity Falls takes, and one of those takes that I'm kind of on the down low about when it comes to sharing opinions about Bill, because I like the idea of Bill coming back being a pretty cool concept, but beyond that, there isn't really any need for Bill to come back, because what are you going to do afterwards? I remember when everyone thought Tad Strange was Bill. Oh man, I really want to look into that theory, into that story a lot more. That would be really cool. I wish I could go back to when I was young, to when Gravity Falls there, and experience it again. Yeah. Do you think Mebby will ever get a boyfriend lasting more than a week? Who knows? Maybe one day. Dippy Fresh. So yeah, we all said F tier, which is pretty obvious. F tier. Judge Kitty Kitty Meow Meow. I'm gonna put him in D tier just because Judge. He's no Judge Judy. Seuss's quote unquote father. F tier because father. The stuffed animal tree also an F tier. I just didn't like him. The waffle guards with big arms. I'm gonna put them in C tier just because I didn't hate them. They were doing their jobs and Seuss ate them. Okay, the bus driver. I'm gonna put him in C tier as well. like he's voiced by Kyle MacLachlan, the guy who played Dale Cooper on Twin Peaks. There's a really wholesome story behind how Alex got him there. I made a video about it. But yeah, like he's a pretty cool character. Like, not really. I mean, he didn't want Wallace on the bus, but he did let him on eventually. So yeah, we'll give him that. The ear guy, again, C tier. Any Bill Hench maniacs are C tier as far as I'm concerned right now. Good old Pacifica Northwest. Pacifica, I'm gonna put her in. I'm gonna put Pacifica in A tier as well, next to good old Ford. Because, I don't think Pacifica is an S tier character because she didn't get enough development, but I don't think Pacifica is a bad character overall anymore. I think she's a good character, and I definitely wish that Pacifica could have gotten, the Amity treatment, if that makes sense. So yeah, Pacifica, definitely a good character, A tier as far as I'm concerned. The Shapeshifter, B tier, awesome villain. Shapeshifter was probably one of the best villains in all of Gravity Falls, Mark Hamill did a really good job voicing his character. Like when you voice him, even I was shocked when I found out that, wait, Luke Skywalker voiced the Shapeshifter? He did such a good job with, making it not sound like Luke Skywalker, but yet still, making an original voice. Mark was amazing with this. I loved his character. I loved the character, and I loved the voice acting. Just awesome character overall. The Lilliputians. All these Lilliputians, I'm going to put them in E tier. I hate them. Well, actually, this guy, I'm going to put him in F tier. I hate him so much. This guy, he just looks weird. I'm going to put in F tier. Except for one. Big Henry. Come on, guys. Big Henry. Everyone in the chat, pour in put some Fs in the chat for Big Henry. He gave his life for the golf game. The golf. Big Henry, and leaving Polly orphan, probably. Polly, I'm going to put her in A tier just because, she's now got no Big Henry. A moment of silence for Big Henry, everyone. Okay, well, that's enough moment of silence for Big Henry. This guy, again, apparently Justin Roiland didn't voice this guy. Apparently it was Alex making a fake Justin Roiland impersonation, and I'm going to put him in E tier just because I don't really care about him. Okay, this guy, Pacifica's golf instructor. I feel so bad for him. He was just like a regular golf instructor who just got held hostage by Lilliputians, and Pacifica just, neglected him. I feel so bad for him, but I also don't like him as well, so I'm just gonna put him in C tier. Gabe, F tier. I absolutely hate him. Come on, a guy making out with puppets. I've seen a lot of weird things out there, but yeah, that's probably the worst. Okay, the cashier from Susan the Real Girl. I've heard a story that apparently this character is inspired by, at the time, Alex Hirsch's girlfriend. I'm not going to go into details about that story, but there's a bit of an interesting backstory behind this character and why she's in the show. And yeah, I'm just going to put her in a C tier, so I'm just going to leave her there because I'm not going to touch that subject anymore because it's just, it goes into Alex's personal stuff, and there's a limit. There's a line I'm not going to ever cross when it comes to that point. This guy, the guy who ran the Hoo Ha Jamboree, I'm going to put him in E tier. Not a bad character. Actually, no, I'm going to put him in F tier. I don't really like him. Giffany, the anime girl character that we all know and love. Again, I'm going to put Giffany, I'm gonna put it in B tier. She was a dark character, and as you know, probably all saw my recent video I uploaded with the box set that kind of went viral, about Giffany and Alex's regrets. I'm just gonna put it out here. I disagree with Alex's statement about Giffany needing redemption. I think Giffany, for being a villain just for the heck of it, was great. I think Giffany did not need any further development. I think they did a good job with Giffany, making her dark, horrifying character. And I think catering to anime obsessive weebs probably was not the best call. So I'm glad Alex didn't go down that path. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, Giffany was a good character. I definitely like Giffany. She's definitely one, and not because she's an anime girl. So get that idea out of your heads. Melody, she's an A tier. I like it. I like Melody. I think. Oh, why do I have cousin Reggie here? Melody, I'm gonna put her in A tier just because Melody, Seuss's girlfriend. cousin Reggie. Where did Reggie go? I'm gonna put him in a B tier. I think Reggie. We don't really know much about Reggie beyond just he fought a teenager once, so I'm just gonna leave him there. The woman who was touching Reggie's muscles, I'm gonna put her in C tier again. We don't really know anything about her. Shimmery Twinkleheart, C tier. No really opinion on her. That was just a horrifying character. The Claymore guy, again C tier. I don't really have any opinion on him. Jimmy, before Mr. Beast became Mr. Beast, working as a cashier, throwing eggs at Crunkle Stand. But yeah, Jimmy, good old Jimmy. I'm gonna put Jimmy in this D tier. Actually, I think I kind of just. Also, Jimmy isn't technically a canon character. Wait, why is Shimmery Twinkleheart here both times? Or maybe this is referring to the girl next to Shimmery. I don't know. I'm just gonna put them both in C tier. The Hand Witch. Okay, I think the Hand Witch is again actually, I think she's a pretty mediocre villain, to be honest. Like, she's not a bad character, not a good character either. C tier. I'm gonna put her in C tier just because I don't really care about the Hand Witch, to be honest. Okay, Blind Ivan. Blind Ivan was a pretty good character. I think he's probably one of the most interesting characters in the show. I'm going to put him in A tier because I think not only is he a good villain, he's also such a mysterious character because we know so little about him and where his origins are. Well, sort of, Journal 3 sort of explained his backstory a little bit, but not too much. He's still such a mysterious character, and what happened to him later on is just a mystery. He became the gear on Bill's thing, but, interesting character. I definitely think he's a character I would love to learn more about. Okay, let me just look at chat one final time before we get to final characters then. Where do we start? Okay, the F tier. Do you ship Dipper and Pacifica? I hold a neutral stance on Dipper and Pacifica. I like the ship, but I don't fully 100% ship it, if that makes sense. Will you be looking for pilot episodes of Gravity Falls? Well, from what we found, basically Alex did an interview at Pixel Art back in September, and he revealed that apparently there was an entire next time reel made for the Gravity Falls pilot, which was never uploaded publicly. And the stuff that my server and I found, the one that I uploaded back in the summer of the Alfredo Casano clips and some other stuff that has been found, those are part of the demo reel. But there was apparently more clips of that demo reel that have never been released, and those are the things that would be really cool to find. And yeah, I've been trying to find them. My big goal is to try and get House of Cool Studios, get in contact with them and learn about the pilot, but they've ignored every single one of my emails, and I don't know who to contact in regards to House of Cool. And also, none of the pilot animators I've emailed beyond the ones I made a video about, none of them have gotten back to me. I've been ghosted by every single Gravity Falls pilot animator, which is kind of sad. But yeah, I really want to find more information about the pilot, but it's just hard. It's we got really lucky with the Alfredo Casano clips. I don't know how that happened, but, I looked deep into the book. His homeworld is based off the way everything plays out in the book, and in a lot of sense how Bill could turn Gravity Falls. Interesting. Okay, bro, you didn't need to answer that so many times. Bro, calm down. Bro, chill. Yeah, dude, literally, stop spamming. Bro, bro, stop spamming, bro. Will you ever do an Owl House character tier list? I don't know. I mean, I like the Owl House, but I don't think I enjoy the Owl House enough to do a tier list for it. I don't know. Maybe in the future. Maybe after the show ends. Do you find Emperor Bellows better than the Collector as a villain? I love Bellows was a pretty good villain. I'll give him that. Bellows, because the Collector so far he's just sort of just appeared now, but Bellows, we've been learning about him so much. And yeah, Bellows he's a dark character. There's some fucked up things about him. And I think Bellows is definitely a pretty dark character, and I really, really enjoyed his character in terms of the darkness of his villain. And, it's definitely something that is different, and I think that's one of my things I love about the Owl House is just how dark of a character he is, and so far as a villain, he's really good. So I guess with the Collector, we'll still have to see what happens with them. But so far, there isn't really much else I can say about the Collector. Bellows, though, he was a really good villain. Okay, let me just get these final characters out, and then I'll end. If you got any more questions, leave them now, and I'll answer them before we end the stream. the time Cyclops thing. No real opinion, but I'm gonna put him in E tier because I tried to eat Dipper and Mabel. Time Baby. Okay, I don't want to get murdered by Time Baby, but I also don't want to be a Time Baby propaganda hack. So Time Baby goes in C tier. I think Time Baby was a pretty interesting character and also probably the most unusual villain character ever. Also perpetuates the trend of giant baby characters in Disney shows like, Phineas and Ferb, the giant floating baby head. Maybe they're related. But yeah, Time Baby was definitely an interesting character and I definitely did enjoy Time Baby. He was one of those characters I absolutely adored. Well, not really adored, but like I liked his character. Like, he was unique. The Love God. The Love God to me is a D tier character. The Love God just appeared, kind of acted like he was high on meth or something, and then just dipped. That's literally all I got to say about the Love God. Robbie's parents. They're probably the most subtly creepy characters in the entire show. Like, I mean, come on, think about it. Like, they were like excited about the fact that the Grunkle Stan Hindenburg crash happened, and then hoping that there were dead bodies there, and then there. And also, if you look in their house when we see Mabel visiting them, they literally have a coffin with a dead body inside being used as a coffee table. Like, how fucked up is that? So yeah, I'm gonna put them in. I think D tier as well. I don't really like them. I mean, they're creepy, but not in the good type of creepy way, if that makes sense. The Snadger. C tier. Actually, no. I'm gonna put the Snadger in B tier. I mean, if Joe Sparrow and Bessie can have snail bird babies, then Snadger can be a thing too. So, yeah, Matt Burley, what the heck? What was this guy's name? Ghost Eyes. Gideon's loyal henchman. I'm gonna put him in C tier. I think he was not a bad character. Kind of manipulated by Gideon, but what else can you do? Octavia, the mutant Chernobyl cow. I'm gonna put Octavia in the C tier just because, I'd probably be horrified if I saw an 8-legged cow as well. The Thing. I think the Thing is probably another C tier character. I think Gravity Falls characters are like those type of characters are C tier. The Mailbox. I think I'm gonna put the Mailbox in C tier. Like, imagine if Dipper had actually asked the Mailbox who wrote the journals first. Like, it would have changed so much about the show immediately. But then, of course, Mabel had to show the Mailbox. It's her video of shoving gummy worms up her nose, and all those hopes and dreams vanished. I saw a comment on Tumblr where someone referred to these guys as this short as the episode where Dipper caused the murder of hundreds of condom monsters. I just died laughing when I read that. So I'm gonna put these guys in C tier as well. That's actually probably one of the darkest shorts ever, like a suicide pact of condom monsters. Lefty. This guy also is a C tier, just like, we don't really know much about him. Well, technically he's related. They're both the same character, so like that's Lefty, and then these are the people controlling Lefty. So, The evil island thing. I think this is also a C tier character, just because we don't really know much about this character beyond just it's a floating island that speaks in backwards. Okay, the Hide Behind. I'm gonna give the Hide Behind a B tier just because of how funny the Hide Behind character is, and also the Hide Behind is based off an actual lumberjack legend, from what I've heard. So it's one of the few Gravity Falls characters that's based off of a real folklore like legend, like a real cryptid. The Vampire Baby, is that what that's supposed to be? C tier as well. And that just leaves us with the last character in this 200 character tier list, Ducktective. And I think that's pretty safe to say that Ducktective is S tier or A tier. What do you guys think? Let me just ask the chat. Like, what do you guys think Ducktective is? Do you guys think Ducktective is S tier or A tier? Like, first person to say S tier or A tier is where I'm gonna put him in, S or A. So yeah, whoever comes at first, I'm just gonna put him in an A or S tier. While we're doing that, let me just look at the final questions. Do you remember the name Intergalactic Pine Tree? Holy shit! Is that from? Are you Intergalactic Pine Tree from Gravity Falls Amino? Is that Gravity Falls? What's that his name? Like I remember I remember someone from Gravity Falls Amino with that name or something similar. Like oh my god, is that literally you? Like damn, that's been a while since I heard that name. Oh my god, that's a throwback. Hello Jules. What are your favorite thoughts on Dipper X? No, I didn't. I will not answer any Loud House questions. No, sorry. Thoughts on Mercy meeting Dip. Why did I say Dip? I think Mercy and Dipper would probably get along pretty well. They're pretty good, cool characters, and they definitely could be friends. Like I can definitely see them like interacting with each other. Okay, everyone said S tier for Duck Detective, so there we go. There is the completed Gravity Falls characters tier list in all of its glory. Steve, you've got Gordy, Thompson, Hide Behind, Deuce, the Pterodactyl, the Thing, Anti-Mabel, Robbie's parents, Mentors, and, everyone. So, yeah, there is the Gravity Falls characters tier list. Okay, well, there's that done. Now I don't have to make that video in the future. Okay, let's just get back to the main chat and just see what else has been going on. Okay, everybody said S tier. What's the better show in your opinion? Rick and Morty or Inside Job? I think... I think Rick and Morty is a show that I definitely enjoy a lot because, Rick and Morty was one of the first cartoons I watched after finishing Gravity Falls up. But Rick and Morty's quality has just declined so much in the last few years since I first got into Rick and Morty. Like, nowadays the show's just pretty much just incest porn after incest porn. And it just sucks. Like, it just sucks seeing what a once good show fall apart so quickly. Like, I still have faith that Rick and Morty could, do something good in the future, but it just feels like they're passing for time given they have 70 episodes that they can now play with. And, I think Rick and Morty got renewed for too many episodes, which is kind of funny because normally shows get too few episodes, but Rick and Morty has too many episodes, so they're having to throw around, like, these things and, cater to the writer's really badly hidden fetishes. Like, come on, like Dan Harmon, like, what the fuck, man? Like, what's with you and incest stuff? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, Rick and Morty it's just gone on down the drain for a while, and it just sucks. Inside Job, on the other hand, I do like Inside Job. I think Inside Job's a pretty cool show. It's just that Inside Job just didn't resonate with me as much as I thought it would. Like, for a show that Alex Hirsch is part of, like, it's not Alex Hirsch's own show, it's Shion Takeuchi's show, but, like, I was excited about Inside Job because of, like, Alex's involvement in it, but I just haven't enjoyed Inside Job as much as I thought it would be. Like, it's a good show. I'm not saying it's a bad show, but it's not a show I love so much that I would, be a huge fan of it. So, between the two of them, I don't really have a show that I feel is better. I think Rick and Morty, just in terms of its diversity of like storytelling, is better. But Inside Job definitely right now is a much better feeling adult cartoon. I like. Yeah, that's how I guess I would say. Would you survive the Waxman uprising? No, not at all. I'd probably die. Like, I've been to Madame Tussauds and I've seen what those wax figures are like, and I would not handle being dealt a fatal blow to the back of the head by Wax Muhammad Ali or something. Like, I was there. Would you survive? What would you do in the event of a worldwide apocalypse? Asking for a friend. Well, I mean, I live in Toronto, so Toronto is one of the biggest cities and is the biggest city in Canada. So if the nukes start falling, I'm probably gonna die. So yeah, if the apocalypse happened and nukes started and it was a nuclear war, I'd be dead right now. Like, I'd be probably dead. I'd probably be in a radiated nuclear wasteland, because Toronto would probably be one of the first targets that Russia hits us with, probably Russia or China. But yeah, I'd be dead. Yeah, I'd be dead. If it was a zombie apocalypse, like with a disease, well, I survived COVID for 3. I survived for the first 2 years, until just last month. I survived without having gotten COVID, so I managed to make it through the end of the pandemic, pretty well. But then I got it, which sucks because I was so close to making it through the pandemic without 3 years without having been infected. So that sucked. But yeah, so I might be able to survive. Like being like the shut-in I am, I probably would have been okay in the pandemic type situation. But I don't know, maybe that is too much to ask. But hey. Yeah, you don't know. But yeah, it depends on the type of apocalypse. If it was a nuclear apocalypse, I'd be dead. If it was a disease related apocalypse, I don't know. I don't know how good. I'm not the best plaguing player, so there's that. Have you ever watched The Replacements on Disney Plus? No, I haven't. Yeah. Oh my God, GFA. Yeah, that's an old. I think I've heard of that name. Like I remember seeing so many people on GFA like back in the day. Like it's just. Gravity Falls Amino kind of is dead now. Like there's like literally nothing going on in GFA anymore. Just sad. Robbie's mom looks like the Barb from Stranger Things. Will this be deleted? No, I'm gonna save this video. I'm just gonna do a bit of trimming on the end and start of it, just a little bit, but just to make it flow better. But beyond that, this video is gonna be up in the live section of the channel now. So just if you want to go back and watch it, you can watch it there. Jesus, want to know your exact time of your death? Man, poor Seuss. Those wax figures literally got murdered by 12-year-olds. Yeah, I know, it must be, it's sad. Those poor wax figures, they got murdered by a 12-year-old in shirt pants. How much sprinkles can you eat in a minute? I don't know, you'd probably have to ask my little sister that. She's the Mabel of between the two of us, so she'd probably be able to answer that question. Can you recommend us some cartoons? Looking at my list of cartoons that I have on my wall right now, shows I would recommend beyond Gravity Falls would be BoJack Horseman if you're into like more darker, heartbreaking adult cartoons. Over the Garden Wall is one of them. Milo Murphy's Law is a pretty good show as well. It sadly got canceled, but it's a really good show. DuckTales is a show I cannot recommend enough. It's probably one of the most underappreciated Disney cartoons out there right now. It's just awesome. If you haven't seen DuckTales, like please watch it. Big City Greens is another show that I absolutely love. So watch Big City Greens if you haven't watched it. It's a more, episodic show, but it's fun. Hilda, again, another show that I absolutely love. Amphibia is pretty obvious, as well as the Owl House, so I'm pretty sure most of you already seen those shows. Infinity Train, even though it got canceled, is a really good show. Close Enough is another good show. Again, it got canceled, sadly, but it's a show I absolutely cannot recommend enough. Recently, The Ghost of Molly McGee is another show I absolutely love. Like, I thought I wouldn't love it as much as I did, but yeah, it's a really good show, and I cannot recommend it enough. Beyond that, the only other show I can mention is Inside Job, probably, but then I'm pretty sure most of you already seen Inside Job or are going to watch it. Have you ever watched Breaking Bad? Yes, I watched Breaking Bad back at the start of December last year, so almost a year ago. I was watching what I did was I watched a bunch of adult shows in a row back in last year. So I watched BoJack Horseman first, then I went to watch The Sopranos because that's a show I've been wanting to watch for ages, and Sopranos, it's one of the best shows ever. Then I watched Breaking Bad. Well, actually, first I watched The Many Saints of Newark before I watched Breaking Bad. Then I watched Breaking Bad, loved Breaking Bad. Then I went and caught up with Better Call Saul before Better Call Saul season 6 began. So I've seen Breaking Bad. Yeah. So long story short, but yeah, it's just not yet. It used to be Gravity Falls Amino was the best. I miss the days when Gravity Falls Amino was actually good, and Amino wasn't a shitty app. If Amino was better moderated, it would be so much fun to be on Gravity Falls Amino right now, because there were so many awesome people there. It kind of just sucks. The mods were just awful, towards the end. I also hate the fact that they made incest temporarily allowed on Gravity Falls Amino for a while. That was just probably one of the most scummiest things that they ever did. I've never forgiven Gravity Falls Amino for that. But yeah. Do you watch Andor? If you are, what do you think about him? Oh, I love Andor. I just watched the most recent episode 2 days ago when it came out. Andor is Andor's the kind of Star Wars show I've been wanting to watch. Also, the fact that they finally have introduced Coruscant again. I was so sick of desert planets. I've had it up to here with desert planets in Star Wars. I do not ever want to see a desert planet in a TV show related to Star Wars ever again. No more desert planets, please, Lucasfilms. like I want to go back to like cities, like cyberpunk, like looking planets, like Coruscant. Like Coruscant is the type of planet I want to see more of in the Star Wars universe. And I'm glad, even though Andor isn't entirely Coruscant based, what we've seen about Coruscant so far is just amazing. I hope if Disney wants an advice from me, I would say that they should be making a Coruscant focused like TV show, be it a cartoon or a live action show. Like I would pay good money just to watch a Coruscant based TV show for Star Wars. Like just a show that takes place on Coruscant. Like no other planets, just the various sublevels of Coruscant. I would die for a show like that. Like that would be like the best thing ever. I would like oh my god, Coruscant would be awesome. Not a question, but okay, I'm gonna open this in a pop-up chat, and we'll just keep looking, and we'll just put it like this, and we'll just keep looking. I'll keep answering the questions, and I'll just finish up the live stream in a bit. Okay, let's see. And okay, let's see where do we leave off? Smash or pass Waddles? I'm not answering that question. What do you think about cash out remakes like Netflix and I'm not a fan of remakes. Like I think reboots are like the entertainment industry is in a really bad place right now where it's trying to reboot like every single one's popular show. And I just don't like that. I feel like we need more original ideas, and I wish that Netflix would go back to their idea of like original shows again. Like that was when they were really doing a good job. And yeah, I just wish we could go back to that time. What else is there? What else? I once said in a stream Gravity Falls is up there with One Piece. I haven't actually seen One Piece, so I'm not really an anime viewer. Do you think Has-Been will be a good show? I still gotta watch Has-Been Hotel. Like I've heard a lot of good things about that show, but I will get to that eventually. Not a question, but a game recommendation. Scarlet Hollow is a good game, especially for Halloween. Interesting. Correction, Bill was beat by an old man in his jammies. Yeah, true. I had a huge drama. Yeah, Gravity Falls Amino was like I used to be friends with the Gravity Falls Amino mods, but like eventually like the Gravity Falls Amino mods and I kind of just we kind of started deviating. They kind of started being more like aggressive with like ship hate, which I was against because like I felt like there's a lot of problems going on in like the group chats and stuff on Gravity Falls Amino, which I feel like they should have focused more on. And yeah, Gravity Falls Amino just was not handled well, and it just sucks. Like the mods really. We went from having some good mods on Gravity Falls Amino back in the day to some absolutely garbage mods. And I'm not gonna name names, but yeah, there were some pretty bad things. I remember fighting to get it rebanned. Yeah, I that was part of why I left Gravity Falls Amino. Like I left Gravity Falls Amino, like retired from like daily posting there on like in 2019, and then officially left in like 2021. I kind of came back because of the pandemic, but like yeah, Gravity Falls Amino, like oh my god, absolute disaster. Amino Optimum, no one uses it. Yeah, exactly. No one uses it. Like I was checking out Gravity Falls Amino the other day just for fun, and there's only like 12 people on there, which is a contrary to like the almost 1,000 people that were on there back when I was a regular. Oh god, yeah. I was friends with some Gravity Falls mods, and they even threatened to like threaten me as well, being like, hey, like there's like ship hate. I even got messaged by one of the Gravity Falls mods on Instagram, being like, hey, like just a reminder, like ship hate is not allowed on Gravity Falls Amino and stuff. It's like, bro, this is Instagram. Like if I wanted to hate on ships, I can do it here. Like you're not in control of what I say on Instagram, so shut up. But yeah, like Gravity Falls Amino was just like, yeah, oh my god. Let me see, what else is there? What do people like pops? I don't know about pops. What there? Wendy's or McDonald's? McDonald's. One of the GF. Oh, yeah, Primal dude. I wonder when Seuss will die. Who's your favorite Hilda character? Hilda and Twig. I was actually banned for not shipping a really problematic ship, which is secular. Oh man, yeah. Like I made like back in like here. Let me show you how bad Gravity Falls Albedo got. Like in around like 2018, 2019, I used to make memes on Gravity Falls Amino about like how like about like build dip and how much of a bad ship it is. And I remember the mods back in those days, they loved those memes. Like I would get like comments from like mods being like, "Hey, this is funny" and stuff. Like sometimes they even get featured. But around 2020, 2021, when I was like in my final years on GFA, when I did the same memes, like they got disabled. Like those posts got disabled, and I got a message from the mods being like, "Hey, please remove these things here because we don't want people hating on build dip." Like, bro, shut up. There's children on Gravity Falls Amino, and you're doing this. Yeah, like Gravity Falls Amino was, oh my god, it was where I began in the fandom, but like it just sucks. Do you like reaction vids? Any favorite reactors? No, not really. I mean, I guess if you could count Moist Critical, maybe. Imagine a world where Bill told Seuss the date of his death. Oh my god. Hot take of the mini production. Dude, that's crazy. Because one of the mods was humiliating me. Oh my god. Because it was... Wow. Man, who was that Gravity Falls Amino mod? Like, I knew so many mods on Gravity Falls Amino, and it's kind of funny because, like, from what I saw from the GFA mods, they were not bad, but, like, towards the end, I saw, like, yeah, these guys are pretty dicks. Like, pretty awful people. Like, I remember the shift in mods was, like, when people, like, oh, yeah, those guys. Yeah, I remember those guys. Those were actually probably one of the few mods I actually liked on Gravity Falls Amino. Those guys were probably the only good mods on Gravity Falls Amino ever. The rest of them were just, eh. Or, I mean, maybe there's some others I don't remember, but, like, yeah. Yeah, Gravity Falls... 2016 to 18 was peak GF Amino. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I joined GFA in 2017, so I was, like, in the middle of the peak. That was back when Gravity Falls Amino was good. Yeah, exactly. Gravity Falls. Yeah. Man, it sucks. I want to do a video one day, maybe like I would go back on Gravity Falls Amino and just see what the place is like now. I wanted to make a video about Gravity Falls Amino for ages. Like I wanted to get in contact with like former Gravity Falls Amino friends that I've had and like, just ask them like, what do you guys remember about GFA and stuff? And like, that would be a pretty cool video idea. Like, I only know, like, maybe, like, 5 people from my Gravity Falls Amino days. Like, and out of those 5 people, like, only 3 of them I talk to still, like, on a frequent basis. So, yeah. Yeah, Gravity Falls Amino was... Alright, but, okay, I'm okay. Does anyone have any more final questions? I'm gonna end the stream in about a few more minutes. So, if you have any final questions you want to ask me, ask away. Amino's just dead. But I'd be down to talk about my experience. Yeah, if I ever get around to making that Gravity Falls Amino video, I'll make a community post about it, and I'll let you guys know about that. If you guys have more questions you want to ask me, I am planning on doing a Q&A eventually, like towards the end of the year, like an end of year Q&A. So I'll make a community post about that as well. And if you got any more questions you want to ask me, like answer them there. Considering how popular the channel's gotten now, I don't think I'd be able to answer every single question that I would get on a community video like that, but I'll try to answer as many questions as I could. So, there's that. Favorite GF episodes, The Time Traveler's Pig and Not What He Seems. Do you play on Sonic 4 Frontiers? No, I don't. I've got such a history. Okay, let me just look through and see if there's any more questions. They were the last good GF mods, honestly. Yeah. I don't know who the Gravity Falls mod was who came up with the idea of letting incest be allowed on GFA. I still have screenshots of that rule change and some comments from one of the mods being like, oh, we're letting incest allowed because there's cultures who accept incest and stuff. Like, fuck off. Like, no, that's disgusting. I was a minor back when I was on Gravity Falls Amino, and these guys were making incest allowed. Like, bro, like, what the fuck is wrong with some of these people? Like, it's just like they'll go after people who are making jokes about ships, but then they would be turning a blind eye to like actual like problematic people who are being aggressive in group chats and stuff. Like, I've heard some stories. I've heard some fucked up stories about Gravity Falls Amino and other aminos. Amino app or DeviantArt. Honestly, both of them are garbage, but from my personal experience, Amino is just worse. Like Amino is sort of this sort of like story of like if you survived Gravity Falls Amino without having some trigger warning type words of things happen to you, then you're a lucky one. I think I'm one of those few people. Like I've considered myself like Gravity Falls Amino survivor, like because like I made it out of the other end of Amino without anything bad happening to me. Like the worst thing that ever happened to me was probably just like being told by like that one like mod messaging me, be like, hey, like ship hate is not allowed on Amino on Instagram. It's like, bro, it's like leave me alone. Like I'm not hating. Like I'll hate on build up on my Instagram account as much as I want. It's not Gravity Falls Amino. But yeah, like that was probably the worst thing that happened, or I don't know, something else maybe. But like nothing like sus happened. Like that, at least I'm glad that nothing like bad happened to me on Gravity Falls Amino. It was bad. Amino was an app. Amino was it was like a fandom app. Like it was sort of like a social media like app platform, like of different communities and stuff. And yeah, it was a place where if you're a fan of like Gravity Falls or like like creepypastas or something, like there were communities of people there you could join and talk about these things there and share your opinions and ideas. And Gravity Falls Amino was one of those places I joined. And Gravity Falls Amino was, I think Gravity Falls Amino I've heard from people is like one of the more stable communities out there. Like it wasn't as bad as I think I heard like bad stories about like Undertale Amino or stuff like that. But like Gravity Falls Amino wasn't horrible, but it was definitely not good either. Like Gravity Falls Amino was not a great place either. Like back in the day, I used to be like, oh hey, Gravity Falls Amino is the place to be, and like you guys need to join Amino. It's like I kind of feel bad. I kind of hate that I ever said that because yeah, I wouldn't wish Gravity Falls Amino on my worst enemies. Like if you like, I've actually considered going back and deleting my Amino account at this point because like I'm sort of conflicted about deleting my Amino account because like it's where I began and it's where my original and oldest posts in the Gravity Falls fandom are located. Because for my first year in the fandom, I was mainly a Gravity Falls Amino user, but like it's also just I don't want to perpetuate the Gravity Falls Amino like train. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there, but my Gravity Falls Amino account is still laying there in the depths of that horror show. So if you ever find it, yeah. But yeah, okay. Okay. Let me just look at these last questions and then we'll finish. Remember Dipper? Yeah, I remember it. I've never actually read it. Like I've never actually read that fanfic. I've only read summaries of it, but never the actual fanfic itself. What's your favorite Gravity Falls mental interior? What? I don't know what that answer is. Do you think Toby being ugly might be a reference to The Office? I'm not sure exactly. I remember Alex saying something about Toby determined in the box set, but it's been a while since I listened to that commentary, so I probably wouldn't remember. The bear would bleed. Oh yeah, that was dark. What's your favorite? I haven't actually seen those shows, so I can't really give you an answer. Yeah. But yeah, so kind of funny how we went from Gravity Falls character tier list to ranting about Gravity Falls Amino and how bad it was. Speaking of Amino, wait, let me see if the Gravity Falls Amino group YouTube channel is still up. Oh my god, it's still there. The Gravity Falls Amino YouTube channel is still there. Oh my god, it's kind of funny they made two YouTube channels because they forgot the password for the other one. Yeah, it's still there. Oh my god, that's just dark. That's just weird, surreal seeing this thing still around. Ugh, yeah. If I could go back and wipe my history off of Gravity Falls Amino, I would. I have a lot of places I would want to wipe my history off of, and Gravity Falls Amino is one of those places. Yeah. Pro tip for anyone, don't even, Twitter's going down and a lot of people are starting to go back to Gravity Falls, to Amino and stuff. Do not go on Amino. Like go on Tumblr. Like Tumblr is probably a better place to go on if you're wanting to quit Twitter. Like Gravity Falls Amino is just absolutely garbage. Yeah. So yeah, just don't go on Gravity Falls Amino. Go on anywhere else but Amino. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I think that's about it for me on this end. Yeah, okay, there's no more questions, I think, coming in, so I'm gonna call it here, and that's about it on my end. yeah, thank you everyone for who came out to the stream. Like, there's 16 people left here. Who read all of. I can confirm it's very bad. As a bit of a summary is making it out bad. You think they're overreacting? Yeah, I've heard bad stories about Dipper Goes to Taco Bell. I've heard enough stories about it that I would never join it, even if I could, even if I had a chance. So, I'm glad I never I read it. So, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my end. Yeah, I don't know when I'll do another live stream. It's because like these things are just sparring. Like I do them whenever I have the chance and time to do it, and that's. Oh yeah, the Gravity Falls. Yeah, I've contributed to the Gravity Falls wiki on a few occasions. Like, as everywhere, my username on the wiki page is dadgfn. But yeah, the Gravity Falls wiki mods are pretty good. Like, there's some people who are actively like upgrading and updating the posts on the wiki, and they're awesome. So yeah. Yeah, there's that. When will another stream happen? I don't know, actually. Like, as of right now, I don't really have any plans for another stream, so I guess we'll just see when it happens. But yeah, thank you everyone for tune in, and that's about it on my end. And yeah, there's some new videos coming out soon, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, I'll also make a post about when the Q&A is gonna happen on the community post, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah. All right, bye guys. It was fun.